Hello everyone, you are watching Builder 101 series. In this video I will walk you through common basic UI elements of the editor of Builderius site builder. The first thing I see when the editor is loaded is the list of elements, this inserter, and these are elements that I can use in the templates to build my design. This inserter is opened and the search input is automatically focused, so I can type the name of the element and doing quick search, and then I can use keyboard for navigation by clicking tab or shift tab to go back, and then when I selected the specific element that I would like to add, I click enter, and that element will be added in this elements tree. It can be seen in the navigator on the right sidebar. The first thing to note is that when some element is selected and then I use elements, this inserter, and I add element, then this element, in this case let me choose for instance div, it will be added as a child to the selected element. In that case it was main. If no elements are selected, and adding elements will add it to the root. Okay, let me delete it and the paragraph. Another trick is when I open inserter, I can press shift and then click on many elements. Inserter will not be closed, and this way I can add many elements at once. Let me delete also this. Now let's proceed to this menu item with Builderius logo. So here we have some useful links, for instance dashboard, releases, templates. These links leads to admin area. The next category is pages, and here I have specific template created to specific page. This is the name of the page, in this case it's Builderius style guide. I can click it. This template will be opened here. I don't have to go back and forth to admin area. I can start working with this template right here, and when I'm done I save my changes and go back to another tab. Also the changes will be automatically saved when I go back to another page, another tab, by clicking on its name. So here I'm switching templates. Let me show you another example. So the second category are templates. These are regular templates, those created previously in Builderius templates admin page. All these templates, they are available here, and I also can click to any of them, like all archives, and now I can start editing this template. And the third category are components. So here I have a quick view of all components created on the site. In this case there are two default ones, site footer and site header, and again I click on specific one, for instance site header, and it will be opened in a separate tab like you see it here. But in this case, when I open component from this panel, it will be opened in isolated state, so just component itself. However, let me close those tabs and I go back to post, and I will show you how else I can open this component. So in the template posts I have these components used, these two, header and footer, and for instance I would like to open the same header. So I click a right mouse button on this element and choose edit component, and now there is a new tab also created for component, but it has a slightly different visual. So here it says posts, then arrow and site header. It means that I'm still editing this component site header. I can edit only this component. I see only elements related to this component. However, I also see the whole template, so I kind of preview component in the context of the template. It's very useful, and I find it better to use this way. Then let's review this element. There are a bunch of icons. There are indication of width of this working area, this canvas or iframe, whatever you call it. Then there are links that change the width of this canvas based on the created breakpoints. And there is also the icon that opens modal window of management of breakpoints. I can change values of breakpoints here, and in the Pro version I can also change responsive strategy and create custom breakpoints. Let me go back to this one. The first one is base breakpoint. It means that all styles added when I under this breakpoint, they will be added just as is without any media query scoping. Okay, so it's kind of, it says base breakpoint, but in reality is no breakpoints at all. Let's move forward to this selection of previewed data. So here I have the element heading, and it says dynamic data, my post title, and here I can preview my template by selecting another post, for instance this one, and you see that the dynamic data was reloaded, and now I see the title, actual title of another post, or I can choose yet another post. For different templates, the list of these applicants, we call them applicants, is different. So for instance, let me show you how it looks like for all archives. I opened this template here, and now my list of applicants has several categories. Since all archives template is applied to author archives, category archives, and search results and date archives, I can preview all of them here. So this is how it works. Let me close it, and let's proceed to this icon that actually just makes it more easy to preview the template being inside the builder. So when I click it, it just like removes, temporarily removes left hand side and bottom panel. And this icon, icon actually opens the page that is chosen here, this specific blog post. And here I see it like I'm the visitor of this site. And the last button is save. When I do some changes in the elements, in selectors, CSS variables, etc., it will be green, and I should click it to save my changes, otherwise they will be lost. There is also possibility to publish template immediately, and this concept will be discussed later in another video. In the right sidebar I have navigator, and there are 3 tabs. The first tab is quite simple one. These are elements tree, and all elements added to the template are visible here. I navigate through them by clicking on them, and on the left side I will see settings. So we have 2 types of settings: content related settings and styles related settings. Some elements do not have this or that tab. For instance, source element does not have styles, but most of the elements, they do have both. The next tab here is selectors. So when I choose it, I can navigate through selectors. These are parsed from Builderius CSS framework in my case. In the Pro version, it will be possible to insert your own framework, and then the raw CSS will be parsed and visible here, but let's focus on my case for now. So when I click on specific selector, like H3, I see styles related settings on the left. And here we have actually 4 groups of these selectors. Elements related, so very basic ones like image, ins, this. Then we have classes, or better known as global classes. I'm operating under global scope. These are global settings, they apply to all templates, okay? So whenever you need to change styles for specific global class, it can be done here. The next one, attributes related, so they look like this. And the last group, all other selectors, so they can be like very different. They can be selectors, combinators, etc., very different. The last tab dedicated to CSS variables. Here again, in the Pro version, it will be possible to create new variables. In this version, in the free version, it's possible to only change values of existing variables. They also grouped by the name, let's say computed probably from the name of the variable, this first word. So in this case it's badge, all CSS variables which name starts from badge are grouped under badge, and here we have border and so on.